Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina and we are continuing our series of 52 cards in 52 days. If you've been watching the other videos from this series, you know that we'll be looking at the cards in the playing card deck that are actually more than just playing cards. They are also tools for self-knowledge and divination. So far, we've been looking at these cards through the prism of their meaning, numerologically, their meaning as related to their suit, and also comparing them to tarot cards. And at the same time, we have been looking at the underlying and overlying cards to give a fuller picture of the card's energy. I'm gonna share with you the year chart. Okay, so as you can see today, November 24th, it's a 9 of Hearts day. And other 9 of Hearts in the year are December 22nd and then October 26th. September 28th, August 30th, and that's about it. You can see here in the birth chart that it's not quite equal, the situation. Most birth dates are in the diamond and club area. Also take into consideration that these birth cards apply to birthdays after sunrise. All right, so that being said, let's move on to the meanings of the 9 of Hearts. First of all, we look at the number 9. Number 9 is the last of the one-digit numbers, so it marks the end of a cycle. Astrologically, it corresponds to the South Node, and the South Node always relates to coming to conclusions, to surrendering to a greater power, a higher power. It has a very spiritual connotation, a very divine connotation. And the 9 of Hearts has this disintegration aspect even further emphasized because it is a semi-fixed card. What that means is that always when we quadrate the deck, in the same position, there appears either a 9 of Hearts or a 7 of Diamonds. So that also means that the underlying and overlying card for the 9 of Hearts is the 7 of Diamonds. A 7 of Diamonds is like a destruction of something concrete, letting go of something concrete. So this realization, this higher friendship with divinity, which is the 9 of Hearts, because of course the hearts are a watery suit, heartfelt suit, they are a devotional suit, represents a very high manifestation of something. And that something in our case is the heart suit. And the heart suit is of course devotion, it's compassion, it's in a nutshell love. So the 9 of Hearts is the highest manifestation, the highest stage of love. But that highest stage at the 9 implies a state of surrender. And that surrender to the reality of what is. If you've been reading books about healing the self, they say that first you need to really accept yourself the way you are, even with the bad parts, even with the parts that you don't like about yourself. So this embracing, this acceptance is exactly what the 9 of Hearts is. But it's not just accepting and embracing the self, it's accepting and embracing the world on a larger scale. Learn to surrender to the reality of the existence of everything that exists, whether it conforms with our expectations or not. We surrender to the idea that there is a higher divine love that is underlying and working into this existence. So this is what the 9 of Hearts is, because it's sandwiched between these 7 of Diamonds, which is not a very desirable card, because 7 of Diamonds is of course associated to the Death card in the Major Arcana. So between these deaths, so coming from death, going to a sort of death, a sort of destruction of something concrete. There is this divinity, this realization that everything deserves love and compassion. Everything that exists is equally deserving of love and compassion, whether we like it or not. So this is the type of true divine surrender. It's not surrendering to something that you want. It's surrendering to reality, just the way it is. In Vedic mythology, 9 is associated to divine friendship, and in Tara, which is a technique related to the nakshatras, to the lunar mansions, a number 9 is associated to divine friendship. It's associated to the south node because it's associated to the lunar mansions that are ruled by the south node. And these are, by the way, Ashwini, Magha, and Mula. People usually talk about the north node. The north node is the issue, but actually the south node is the end goal, because the south node is something that we already have within us, with things that we like and we don't like, with assets and also some flaws that have been carried down from generation to generation, and they are part of our built, they are part of our DNA, they are part of our behavior patterns. Until we learn to develop the side of the north node, we are kind of slaves to the patterns of the south node. So when we learn to go into the north node, as my teacher Ernest Wilhelm says, go into the north node jungle, then we will better balance this axis, and then we can go back to the south node and reap the rewards. And these rewards are actually just acknowledging what is and what we have, and what we have from our ancestry. So it's very interesting how this is like a circle. Also, if we look in astrology, the south node, which is associated to number 9, is always associated to the highest form of liberation. And also Ketu is said to be the tail of the giant or the demon snake that was sliced in half by Vishnu's chakra, by Vishnu's discus. So it has this ending connotation because it's the tail. And it has this tail and fish connotation because also it's associated to the fish avatar in Vedic texts. Yes, that is about it for today, for the 9 of Hearts. You can think about your day, and you can ask yourself if you surrendered to any aspect of the human life that you were resistant to before, if there was some sort of sigh of relief. And I'll see you tomorrow with the 8 of Hearts. And as usual, I'm going to put at the end of the video a presentation of the card deck that I designed according to the Cards of Truth principles. If you want to order it, it's going to be a link in the description. Okay, see you later. Bye.